Yeah, what's happening? What's happening? What's going on with y'all, everybody? Um, they went in and dropped something. Two things. And I'm gonna be looking at both of them. So legit, the Bungie team legit went in and put out these armors and abilities, and they put out their last this week in Destiny. So we're gonna be reading both. I'm not making no two separate videos. No, we're gonna be doing both. Welcome back to our third and final Dev Insights article before the Monument of Triumph launches on June 9th. Last Thursday was all about our weapon sandbox, and today we will be focusing on guardian abilities, armor, and exotic updates. This is the one I've been waiting for. And I have seen I've seen some weapons that came from the Black Armory. Thank you, Destiny. Thank you. Thank you very, very much on that. I got my water. I'm gonna be talking a lot. So, ability sandbox update with the new class sub with the new subclass abilities, ability reworks, ability balance changes. Good. Armor 3.0 updates. Armor archetypes, armor set bonuses, exotic armor stats, exotic armor balance preview. Okay. No, I didn't go ahead and miss anything, so I don't need to go ahead and look at that. So, ability sandbox update. Hey there, Guardians. Gameplay team. Yeah, gameplay team here with an update on the ability sandbox and the upcoming Monuments of Triumph release. We've been heads down, dreaming of new abilities and refining existing ones. And we got some juicy changes to talk about today. Let's get right into it. New class and abilities, new solar and void aspects. Get dunked on, Arc. For too long, certain subclasses have lagged behind the others in a number of aspects available to them. Well, no, I can't go ahead and say get dunked on Arc because Arc did go ahead and get a whole lot of subclasses inside the past thing. So, still in all, get dunked on. The imbalance, yeah, Moment of Triumph will remedy that imbalance with three new aspects, bringing every non prismatic subclass up to four. First up, Titans. Titan Sunbreaker. Shield Burst. Okay, if I'm gonna be honest, how this looks, Killer Queen. Daisy no Bunkeren. Bites the Dusto. basically, basically, basically. Enhances your equipped barricade with solar capabilities. Towering barricade. Your barricade slide towards across the ground before stopping, allowing you to advance in safety. Rally barricade. Standing behind your barricade grants scorching rounds to you and your allies. Solar and kinetic weapons, which is good. While your barricade is deployed, activate your class ability to remotely detonate it. Scorching combatants caught in the detonation, dealing damage to increase the power of the blast. Like I said, Killer Queen, Daisen no Bakudan, bites the dusto. All right, here's the preview. Here's the preview. Even though we saw it on the Moment of Triumph. Can I? There we go. There we go. Here's the preview. is the that is a like 15, like 20 meters. Isn't that one of the seven Seraph weapons? Isn't that the seven Seraph auto rifle? And I saw it at the, these motherfuckers gave Titans. These mofos gave Titans a wave frame shield. Uh like I'm gonna look at it again. I'm gonna look at it again. Yeah, the meters are right here. That's like 20, 25, 20, 20, 20 to 25 meters right there. No, the 20 is right here. Wait. Right. The 20 is right there. That's like 27, a distance of 27 meters. It stops right there. Go ahead and gives off a solar blast. And then as soon as the shield burst is charged, they have a bar. They legit went here and gave Titans a shield wave frame. Like legit. Editors are gonna be going crazy with this. They're gonna be saying what I'm gonna be doing. Killer Queen, Dyson no Bakuden, Baisa Duster. I'm telling you, that's what it's gonna be. The shield burst aspect essentially turns your barricade into a wall of glass with a C4 charge strapped to it. It'll charge up over time when it takes damage and when you deal damage while it's active. The more charged up it is, the more damage it'll do and the more projectiles it'll throw out. The towering and rally barricades have their own unique functionality, and they plays nicely with exotic armor like Arbor Warden, Hallowfire Heart, and Kefri's Horn. Especially the towering barricade. Boom, Kefri's Horn. The ability damage is buffed by the roaring flames aspect and can create sunspots when paired with Soul Viticus aspect. Oh, this is going to be disgusting. Damage for this ability also scales with your class stat when your class stat is over 100. Ew. Ew. Brother, ew. Ew. That means potentially, if a Titan run around with 200 class stat, You might get one shot. You might get one shot. In addition, with Monument of Triumph, you'll find that other class ability aspects that directly deal damage now scale their damage with the class stat. Note that Warlock construct damage continues to scale with the grenade stat instead. Sweet, 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 sweet. Next, let's take a look at the new Hunter aspect. Gunslinger. Crackshot. Activate your class ability to fire up 3 scorching shots at targets you marked. Aim at targets to mark them. Landing all 3 shots cures you. So they're getting rid of the. So Crackshot gets rid of the dodge. So that means if you want to go ahead and use this, your resilience and your health is going to have to be up. Hunters. Well, I'm gonna continue to reading, but we gonna see. Was that aimbot? Was that an aimbot? Do they have automatic aimbot? Oh, oh, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Hmm. Anyways, there's a thought inside my head. I'm gonna say it later. Crackshot is the ultimate gunslinger fantasy. Mark up to 3 targets, then dodge to quick draw a flaming pistol and light them up with dead eye precision. Mm-hmm. If you have a single target marked, it fires all 3 shots at them. If you have multiple targets marked, it will split the shots between them, and then all 3 shots will kill you, providing some breathing room in mid combat. It can also be used while airborne, and damage from this ability scales with your class. With your class stats when your class stat is over 100. Okay, so it goes with class. Okay. So there is no there's no yeah, okay. So it goes straight to towards the void lock. It no solar for warlock. Which I'm fine with. It's pretty strong anyways. There are some strong exotic armor combos with this one, including Radiant Dance Machines. I fucking knew it. And 6 Coyote. Yup. And you can combo the Scorch stacks with other Scorch sources to cause ignitions. It also pairs with the on your mark and gunpowder gamble aspects, as crack shot damage counts towards their progress. Wow. A lot of hunters are going to be using this in Nightfalls. Last but not least, the new Warlock aspect, Soul Siphon. Ready this aspect by striking a foe with your powered melee ability. Once ready, press your melee ability to begin siphoning your energy from all enemies in front of you, dealing damage and gathering overshield and class ability energy from each target. Oh, okay. Yeah, this is the void. Yeah, I saw it. And you gain class ability from it. So that's a good ad clip. That's a good ad clip. Soul Siphon turns you into the life draining vampire mage you were always meant to be. The Void Walker's Pocket Singularity melee has two charges by default. True, making it making the baseline uptime for this aspect high, but building into melee regeneration will make it pay off even more. Building into melee stat can increase both the uptime and damage of Soul Siphon. Cool. It pairs well with the exotic armor like Felwinter's Helm, Claws of Ankara, and Kamistine armlets. I've already saw the Claws of Ankara when I first saw this, but the Karistine armlets, but the Karistine armlets. Oh God, I feel so good. I feel so good reading this because this, mm, mm, like, mm. Now I have a reason to go ahead and pull out Karistine armlets. I mean, I have in the past, but like it really wasn't there. The overshield this ability provides allows you to stay longer into the fight and stay you in. Well, allows you to stay in a fight longer. Wow. Yee. Yee. Stay in a fight longer. Okay. Yee. And it pairs well with Feed the Void aspect, giving you a higher devour uptime. I'm using that combination. The class energy that you gain from draining enemies also pair well with Child of the Old Gods aspect. New Darkness Grenades. Stasis and strands are near and dear to our hearts. To some. Some of us still got PTSD from Shadow Dive. Some. And they deserve some love. We're added two new grenades to the game with Monument of Triumph. Stasis Shatter Grenade. A grenade that sticks to combatants before exploding into razor sharp stasis shrapnel. The shrapnel ricochets off surface, dealing damage to all in its path. Hit a frozen target, shatters it instantly, and deals bonus damage. That's when you don't shoot it. Oh no! 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 No, 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 no. No, no, no. Oh no, no, no. Oh no, 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 oh, oh. Mmm. 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 The shatter grenade primary function is dealing damage, though direct hits will freeze the combatants and slow enemy players. It's more effective in enclosed spaces where the shrapnel can bounce around multiple times and shred targets. Anomaly. Trials. If trials have anomaly, you're screwed. Stay on the outside, not the inside. Especially with the for point B, where it's right by that little table, and especially the one that have it outside by that table, where point A at, that one, you're gonna be seeing a whole lot of that happening inside trials. Hmm. Where was I? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. 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 It's more effective in enclosed spaces where the sharpener can bounce around multiple times to shred targets, but it's also effective against loosely grouped enemies. If you throw it at an enemy who's already frozen, it'll explode immediately and deal extra damage. Hunter Revenant enjoyers will be happy to hear that Touch of Winter aspect also has a unique interaction with this grenade. Hunters are fucking feasting. Damn it. Damn. On a related note, a while back we changed Stasis Shatter damage to stun overload champions instead of unstoppable. We're reverting that change in Momentum of Triumph, so Stasis Shatter will again stun unstop. Will stun unstops instead of overloads. As the Shatter Grenade name implies, it'll stun unstoppable champions immediately on detonation. Strand Sliceware Grenades. Slice wire grenade. God, I hope it go ahead and work with my threadlings. A grenade that bounces and releases multiple whirling threads, severing targets. Oh my, the hunters are eating. They're feasting. God, watch this. Ooh. Oh, so it bounced 3 times. Oh yeah, it bounced 3 times. The strand slice with grenade is a damage dealer first and foremost. It also severs targets, lowering their damage output after being thrown. The grenade bounces along the ground, unleashing coiled strand coil strands that whip around, striking enemies up to 4 times. The damage can really pile up if you're able to land all 4 lashes on a group of enemies. This grenade also has a unique functionality when paired with the Warlock's Broodweaver. Uh... okay, this grenade. I'm sorry about that. This grenade also has a unique functionality when paired with the Warlock Brood Weaver's Mind Spun Invocation aspect, which we'll let you discover on your own. And I will be discovering that. I will. Like, I will. Oh, this right here. This right here. You bet your sweet ass. I will. New Night Stalker melee. Through countless battles, Night Stalkers have known Smoke Bomb as their only melee option. That's about to change. Phantom Surge. Wait, how many slots it give though? Okay. Dashing forward, slashing combatants as you pass through, deals significantly increased damage to void debuff targets and, and targets marked by on a prowl. So hunters will be using probably the void spike or mainly they're going to be using a suppressor grenade more to go ahead and get that debuff on you because you're suppressed. Once that happens, they're coming to you. But as I stated the question before, well, I don't think I recorded it. I don't think I recorded it, but as I went in and state this question before, and I hopefully it could go ahead and say something on it. Can you use this in the air? And when you do, are you going to dash down or dash forward? That'll be interesting to see when next week comes. That'll be very interesting. Generate void overshield for each combatant. Hit defeating at least one combatant grants additional overshield and refunds some melee ability energy. All right. Then that's half. Did the dodge. Yep. Phantom Surge ushers in a new age of Night Stalker aggression, whereas tossing a smoke bomb is relatively passive action. Phantom Surge as a Night Stalker to cut straight through enemies, emerge, emerging stronger on the other side. The overshield you gain from hidden enemies substantial, and our brilliant engineering team created a new tech for this ability that enables you to phase straight through enemy units. The damage is increased versus void debuff targets, giving it a strong combo potential with other abilities and weapons. While it's easy to dote on the new abilities, let's not forget the classics. Smoke Bomb is getting some love too. It now makes you and other allies invisible by default on deployment. No vanishing step required. That's a buff. That's a huge buff. Other elements of the Night Stalker kit are also being reworked, some which we'll talk about in the next section. We reworked a few abilities to make them fit better in their kits or enhance them. Let's talk about the Hunter's Trapper Ambush aspect first. Hunter Night Stalker. Trapper's Ambush. Activate your air move to consume your class ability energy and dive to the ground, damaging targets on impact. Damage is greatly increased if striking while you have a positive void status effect, meaning that if you have a devour or overshield. Damaging enemies with this ability heals you, and defeating combatants With this ability grants Devour. So like I said, if you already have um Devour on you, or you have Void Shield, or if you have what's it was called? It was something up here. On the Prowl. If you legit have On the Prowl, this will work. I forgot about the Void Invisibility too. Yeah, that too. Night Stalker previously had several ways to go invisible, but not many ways to capitalize on invisibility. Trapper's Ambush now a substantial damage dealer, and that damage is increased if you cast while invisible or under effect of another void buff. Void Shield Devour on the Prowl. Casting it while invisible will refresh your invisibility when you hit the ground, and it retains the previous smoke cloud behavior while paired with vanishing step aspect. Trapper's Ambush now uses class ability energy instead of melee energy, and thus activates class ability perks like Marksman Dodge and Gambler's Dodge. This enables you to combo it with new Phantom Surge melee in creative ways, right? Finally, defeating enemies with Trapper's Ambush grants Devour, giving the Night Stalker more survivability more than ever before. Jesus Christ. It also has a new animation, new VFX, and features a void blade instead of a smoke bomb. Here it comes. A big change for Titans coming up next. Titan Sentinel, Ward of Dawn, creates a large protective dome for you and your allies, while inside Ward of Dawn, allies gain void overshield and increased weapon damage, while targets inside the ward are weakened. The ward's owner also gains increased melee damage while inside and can pick up and throw the ward's core to reposition the ward up to 2 times. Thank God it's two. Thank the Lord it's two. Because if it would have been three, Alan, we are so fucked. Yeah, let's say I give preview to every one of them. I'm gonna do this. Like, and it sucks them in. Like it legit sucks them in. Oh, so that's what those two little balls circling around it for. Oh, so that's what those two little and then it shows right here. You see it like right around it. Oh, okay. Hold on. Right here. Like it's showing it right there. Like yeah, it's like right there. Like, oh, right there. Like it's like right there. Like as soon as I guess as soon as you defeat your enemy or it stays right there for a while, it should be like, you got 2 charges remaining to throw. Then as soon as it's thrown, and then you see right there, it has one little ball right there. 1 charge remaining. Cute, cute, very cute. Water Dawn is now a giant Thunderdome that you can fight inside. At more than twice its previous size, Astacross did say that Bubble is bigger. I kind of I was like, I want to see for myself before I log in and check it. This new bubble is the Sentinel's domain, expanding their sphere of influence on the battle. You and your allies are buffed both offensively and defensively inside, while your enemies are debuffed, giving you a huge advantage in a wide range of scenarios. Once you bested your enemies inside the bubble, simply pick up the core and throw it somewhere else to reposition the Thunderdome. On deployment, nearby enemies are pulled into the dome, and base combatants are taunted by the players inside. The Helmet Saint 4, yep. The Helmet Saint 14 exotic armor have also been reworked to extend the time that the ward lives, and it allows you and your allies to take weapons of light outside the dome. In the Crucible, make sure to protect the ward's core as it serves as the ward's weak point. I am going to go ahead and tell you this respectfully. Respectfully. That can happen, but it's not like that Titan is not charging in when you are distracted shooting that core. So I probably might have to go in and watch As Cross do his, like, as soon as it dropped, got to do his analysis on it, because I got a feeling that shotguns, you're gonna have to go in here and waste your shotguns to, like, you're gonna have to waste your shotguns to get rid of this core. You're gonna have to waste them because that Titan is coming. That Titan is shoulder charging, and that Titan is punching the shit out of you before you break that bubble. Mm-hmm. The new bubble holds up a couple of other secrets, but we'll let you discover those on your own. For our final highlighted ability rework, let's look at the Warlock. Warlock Broodweaver, Mindspun Invocation, Threadling Grenade. Hold the grenade input to charge your threatening grenade, cause it to weave a threatling nest that the machine. My strand build will be complete. My strand build is fucking complete. So many nests. So many. Hold the grenade to input charge your threatening grenade, causing it to weave a threadling nest at the impact location that repeatedly spawns threadlings. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And this season's machine gun. This season, This season machine gun will pair very well with what we just saw. The mind-spun evocation aspect currently causes threadlines to create perch threadlines. That it did, and I always kept it. But starting in the Monument of Triumph release, this aspect will cause you to charge your charged threadline grenades to spawn a threadline nest in the world. This essentially allows you to weave a threadline turret on the battlefield that gives you an additional angle of attack. The nest also interacts with Service of Luzaku, exotic machine gun, to enhance its productivity. And then go ahead and pair that with Swarmers, my Threadling minions. All right, Stasis, Harvest aspects. The three Stasis Harvest aspects, Tectonic Harvest, Grim Harvest, and Glacier Harvest, needed some love, so we reworked them. We've also reworked Frost Armor and the way Stasis subclasses creates the Shatter Shards. Shatter Shards. All Stasis subclasses now create Shatter Shards intrinsically. I know I butchered that word, but don't go ahead and admit that. Stasis shards are created when a stasis guardian, not prismatic. They might go ahead and say something about prismatic, but stasis guardian. They might have something for prismatic, but right now, stasis guardian shatters a stasis crystal or a frozen enemy, or when they defeat a slow frozen enemy. Harvest aspects. Harvest aspects give you frost armor when you pick up a status shatter shard. While you have Frost Armor, defeating the enemy with a stasis or kinetic weapon has a chance to shatter the enemy, dealing damage around the shattered enemy. While you have Frost Armor, taking damage now grants ability energy. Oh, excuse me. Titan melee energy, Warlock grenade energy, Hunter class ability energy. Reduce fragment slots from 3 to 2. Ooh. They knew it was going to be powerful, so they nerfed that. Which is fine. Frost Armor. Frost Armor stacks now melt one off. Now melt off one at a time instead of all at once. That's good. Each stack now gives slightly more damage resistance. Damage resistance at 5 stack increased by 31% to 35. 4% buff. That's nice. When using a stasis subclass, you can now create shatter shards without equipping the harvest aspects. Good. That should have been like that way before. The harvest aspects will continue to give frost armor when you pick up stasis shards and grant powerful benefits while you have frost armor. Meanwhile, frost armor stacks now fall off one at a time. One stack falls off every 5 seconds by default, or every 6 seconds with Whisper of Rhyme, which is fair, allowing for much higher frost armor uptime. Ability balance challenges. Alongside the above new abilities and reworks, we patched a ton of other ability changes into this release. We talked about in depth about all of them. We'd be here all day. Not to mention we have a twig coming after this, which I will go ahead and read later on. But even though I went in and said in the beginning of this video that I said I would be doing both, cut that out. I'm gonna be doing this separately because I gotta do some things. So we'll just go with list them below. We're going to omit some of the more minor changes to avoid bogging down the blog, instead listing only the substantial changes. It's mostly buffs, but there are some nerfs sprinkled in as well to keep things balanced. This is the final balance. So if anything y'all go ahead and say is broken, it is what it is. Look for the full list of patch notes when Monument of Triumph launches on June 9th. Okay, starting off strong. Warlock. Heat Rises aspect. While Heat Rises is active, it now reduces the accuracy of combatant attacks versus warlocks in PvE only. Great, because that would be a problem in PvP. Trust me. Heat rises no longer decrease the initial burst of speed provided by activating Burst Glide. Icarus Dash aspect. Increase the fragment slots from 2 to 3. Ah! Stormcaller. Chain Lightning. Melee. Increase damage versus combatants by 100. Now, is Chain Lightning for PvE? Or it didn't say, it didn't put it inside parentheses. So this is for both. Now has they probably might change this. They probably might go ahead and do a little change on that. Now has two ability charges by default because if this is 100% for PvP, yikes. Lightning Surge. Increase fragment slots from 2 to 3. Nice. Nice. Voidwalker. Child of the Old Gods. Okay. Cool. Child of the Old Gods. Now suppresses combatants for a short time after initial attachment. Nice. Increase the child's max speed by acceleration by 100%. Here I come. Here I come. Like as soon as you get hit by it, here I come. Increase fragment slots from 2 to 3. Uh, Nova Bomb. Catalyst. Cataclysm. Super. Mm, okay. Yeah, I literally had to rub my eyes on that one. Nova Bomb. Cataclysm. Super. Allied projectiles now pass through the Nova Bomb projectile instead of colliding with it. But enemies can still go ahead and shoot it, which is fair. And I think I could go ahead and shoot it just to be like, I want you to blow up right here. Shadebinder, Frost Pulse. Now grants 5 stack of Frost Armor if this ability freezes the target. That's going to be tricky in PvP, but sure. Increase fragment slots from 2 to 3. Good. Broodweaver, the Wanderer. I love the Wanderer. Threatening Threatening final blows now reduce your tangle cooldown by 1 second. Multiple final blows will reset it. That's cool. That's cool. That's cool. Titan, Sentinel, Offensive Bulwark. While the player has Void Overshield, final blows now grant melee ability energy. Nice. Unbreakable. Final blows with Unbreakable Blast now grants Devour. Survivability at its finest. Good. Slightly increase the size of Unbreakable's blast. Good. Bastion. Aspect. Increase fragment. Bastion. Increase fragment slots from 2 to 3. Nice. Shield Bash. Increase damage versus combatants by 100%. I said it once and I'll say it again. They do not have it in parentheses. So that means it's for both. Hopefully, the TWID covers that. Striker, thruster, cannot be activated while airborne. So, for the guys that were complaining about Gary's, you might not have it anymore, but Titans, you have it in an aspect. You can now Icarus Dash. Knockout. Knockout. No longer grants a lunge range increase versus enemy players. No, this change should reduce some awkward rubber banding in crucible melee battles. Knockout Titans, no Striker Titans get fucked. I'm kind of one of them, but I'm more of the Sentinel. I'm more of the Sentinel Sunbreaker Titan. Me personally. If I'm doing Striker, I'm just going and doing some bullshit. I am Striker Titan, but yeah. Touch of Thunder. Lightning Grenade now grants 5 stack of bolt charge per hit. Okay. Flashbang. Now explodes on initial bounce in addition to existing detonation. Storm Grenade. Increase Storm Grenade duration by zero point 0.5. Increase maximum tracking speed versus combatants by 38%. Increase time to reach maximum tracking speed by 25%. Oh, God. Just like Child of the Old Gods. As soon as that Storm Grenade go ahead and come, when it ramps up, here I come. Here I come. Seismic Strike. Melee. Increase damage versus combatants by 100. That is Seismic Strike. Sunbreaker. Hammer Strike. Increase damage versus by combatants by 100. Behemoth. Diamond Lance. Reduce the size of freeze detonation from thrown Diamond Lance versus players. That's a nerf. Cryoclasm. Sliding while you have Frost Armor now launches a stasis wave that shatters stasis crystals and frozen enemies in front of you. You know that exotic sidearm that I went here and saw with that shatter grenade? Yeah, that's gonna be happening a whole lot. Dumoncher mains unite! Glacial Quake Super. Heavy attacks now deal additional damage in the area in front of the Titan. Mm-hmm. Berserker. Drenger's Lash. Defeating elementally debuffed targets now grant class ability energy. Increase fragment slots from 2 to 3. Nice. The suspending wave impact now scales with your class stat when your class stat is above 100. So with Drenger's Lash, if you have a class stat over 100, yeah, you're doing some things. And finally, Hunter. Night Stalker. On a prowl aspect. In addition to acquiring targets when you become invisible, will now passively acquire a target time. After a short time, if you are not invisible. This passive acquisition does not occur against enemy guardians. Ah! Oh god. Oh god, yeah. Yeah, they had to mention that. Mobius Quiver. Reduce maximum Mobius Quiver buff to crossbow weapons. Oh, wait, what? Reduce maximum Mobius quiver buff to crossbow weapons by 50%. I'm sorry, what? So you mean going to tell me that before Mobius quiver gave a buff to crossbow weapons that I didn't even know of? Huh. The more you know. Gunslinger. Acrobat's dodge class ability can now be activated while airborne. Proximity explosive knife. Melee. Wait. Stop. I had to I had to I had to rewind that because I was like, wait, brain, hold up. Let's back that up right quick. Acrobat's dodge class ability with Gunslinger can now be activated while airborne. I'm gonna be brutally honest with you. I'm gonna legit be brutally honest with you. They should have just went ahead and put Acrobat's dodge class ability can now be activated while airborne. Period. Give Hunter some funny stuff. Proximity knife, melee. Increase detonation size from 5 to 6 meters. That's pretty big. Increase detonating damage by 11%. On your mark aspect. Now grants solar restoration 1 for 3 seconds instead of cure after final blows at 10 stacks. Okay. Knock him down aspect. Now grants cure on super activation. Okay. Blade barrage. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Increase knife projectile speed and tracking. Those knives are coming to you. Increase knife detonation size from 3 to 4.25 meters. Oh no. Increase knife detonation damage by 10%. You are getting killed. Knife detonations now scorch enemies. Blade Barrage has made a comeback. Golden Gun, Deadshot. Reduce super energy gained from player kills by 40%. Ooh. So Deadshot is not going to be used. Hunters are going to be using Blade Barrage more than anything. Arc Strider, Arc Staff, Super. Now grants both charge attacks on kill. Okay. Lethal Current. Now jolts and creates an aftershock when using Tempest Strike. Okay. Can now be activated while in Super. Nice. Ascension. Ascension detonation damage now scales with your class stat. Okay. Now counts as class ability for all perks and abilities. Nice. Thread Runner. Rope Dart. Successfully catching a rope dart now grants woven mail based on the number of targets defeated. I don't play Hunter, but that was an issue. That's good. Widow's Silk. Increase fragment slots from 2 to 3. Dirty Spectre. The Spectre's detonation damage now scales with your class stat. Nice. Ensnaring Slam. Now counts as a class ability for all perks and abilities. Nice. Oh. Shadow Dive and Winter Shroud increase slots from 2 to 3. General abilities. Ugh. Grenades. Lightning Grenade. Increase detonation damage by 25%. Alright. Scatter Grenades. Reduce chase distance versus players by 50%. Okay. Reduce the amount of grenade energy disability gains from perks by 12.5. Cool. Against boss combatants, reduce max grapple melee damage. Okay. Grenade stat. Granted by grenade stat. Okay. Against boss combatants, damage bonus granted by grenade stat melee. Now additive instead of multiplicative. Oh, okay. Okay. In PvP on for multi charge abilities. In PvP only, when the match begins, multi charge abilities now start with one charge instead of all charges, which I am fine with. That means decision making. Decision making and making sure that your abilities have them charged up fast, which I am completely fine with. Stasis. Whisper Around Fragment. Max Frost Armor stacks reduced from 8 to 7. Note, damage resistance had been rescaled to provide the same max benefit. Arc. Spark of Shock. When Jolt is applied via an Arc Soul or Iconic Sentry, there is now a 4-second international. I hope I can edit it out for my YouTube video, man. I'm gonna go ahead and try to edit that out. Invisibility status made voice invisibility more visible in Crucible. I don't know who are the ones that couldn't see, but yes, in certain maps you cannot go in and see people, which I understand. So now that it's much more visible, you're not going to be using invisibility a whole lot. So that also means hunters, y'all can't go in here and say nobody is cheating. We can see you now. Volatile rounds. Increase weapon damage versus champions by 10%. Nice. Weapon damage with volatile rounds no longer stun barrier champions. Weapon archetypes now govern weapon based champion stuns. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So Radiant do weapon damage. Okay. These two are the same thing. Prismatic. Facet of dominance. When Jolt is applied. Okay. It's just like the same thing with Arc. Ability status. Reduce maximum passive ability cooldown bonus granted by ability stats by 20. By about 20. Reduce maximum active ability cooldown bonus granted by ability stats. Or reduce maximum active abilities from 190 to 125. Regarding this change to ability stats, we feel Destiny Combat has leaned slightly too far in favor of using abilities to resolve encounters. And we'd like to shift further in favor of using weapons. Good. This reduction in ability uptime is paired with generally increase to primary and special weapon damage that we detailed in last week's article about weapon changes. The floor for ability uptime remains where it is in the live game, but the ceiling has brought down has brought down due to avoid highly optimized builds for trivializing combat. Abilities remain incredibly potent and powerful, especially with the new adjusted abilities detailed above. Another change we want to provide some context for this. Supers reduce super energy regeneration from dealing damage to bosses by 60%. That's fine. With the changes to super generation and the super stats, the Edge of Fate, The boss damage meta shifted hard into super spam. It became possible to cast more than 6 supers in a single boss damage phase, which isn't the place we want supers to live. We work with our internal raid and dungeon test group to refine super regeneration to a healthier place. Super will remain incredibly effective for boss damage, but Guardians will now need to think more about their weapons and other abilities to make the most damage phase. Oh, okay, yeah, they're talking about this. Okay, yeah. Okay. Okay. Ever since the release of Armor 3.0 system rework, we've seen increased variety in how players make their builds and leverage stats. However, there were always a couple of things that felt missing from the full picture. It's about time we fit those missing pieces with a moment of triumph. Okay, our general goal for Armor Archetype is follow. Armor Archetype should help you understand and communicate your build craft options. Each of the 6 stats should be equally represented. Armor archetypes should support many builds as possible. There should be few armor archetypes as possible. Adding too many bloats the amounts of armor you may want to keep in your vault and the size of random roll pool. On top of making it harder to learn, understand, and communicate. Yep. No single armor archetype should dominate the build crafting space across the game. We expect the nature of the stats means that some archetypes will be more popular in specific types of activities. This is more about not making a best armor archetype for all non crucible activities and vice versa. So basically, they're trying to go ahead and say that, hey, we created these archetypes. Be like, we created these archetypes for this. And I know y'all will be going ahead and saying, this is the best build right here. You need to make this best build here. This is the best build to go ahead and use right here. Why are you not using this build? They want y'all to be creative. Because they also want you to be like, hey, even though these people are saying this is the best build, why don't you go ahead and try this as a substitute? We think that the original 6 archetype has fulfilled these goals admirably. However, certain builds require significantly more tools to get the stats they need. Since this doesn't usually limit the power build and instead primary builds variety, we plan on addressing this by adding 6 new armor archetypes. Click on each for a sample of armor. Siege Breaker, that's health and grenade. Oh, okay, okay, okay. Ooh, so I'm gonna mainly be looking at Reaver. Yeah, I'm mainly going to be looking at Reaver with class and melee for some of my builds. Colossus, super, and health. Yeah, Colossus with the super and health. Let me see. Yeah, super and health. Yeah, it's gonna be Colossus on 2 pieces and Reaver on 2 other pieces. Yeah, yeah. Our goal is that despite exciting options for those that want them, looking at you, Powerhouse, weapons and super, your current builds won't be so outclassed that you feel you must replace the roles. Okay, but if you want to experiment with new builds or or future, or future fine tune your stats, okay. Mm-hmm. Jesus Christ, man. I mean, all this talking, I'm talking for like a whole hour. Uh, will the new archetypes be available on all armor? Almost any new armor 3.0 drop from anywhere in the game can drop with the new archetypes. The only exceptions are the exotic class items, which will keep their existing stat roll behavior. Okay. What about the missing stat combinations? Aren't there 30 possible archetypes? As mentioned above, we want to avoid bloating the pool, making a clear best choice for all the Crucible or all PvE. We want to keep each stat equally represented. We believe that this is the right number and combination of archetypes to introduce to fit those goals, especially when combined with armor mods and subclass bonuses. Not counting minors, there will be only three armor stat point pairs that are not available. Is it going to be harder to grind armor now? No, no. With the combination of six new archetypes and the sheer number of armor set bonuses available, it made sense to give the armorer mods on your ghost a boost. Each one will now improve the odds of your chosen archetype dropping to 1 and 2, previously 1 and 3, in a combination with a large number of ways to get the stat combinations you want. We believe that this will make it significantly easier to get the stats you need to your build. So, if I put on super, meaning the ones that have super, that's the main ones that I'm going to be getting. So, I mean, Colossus and Powerhouse, and I think it was like two or three more. Yeah, two or three more. And if I do melee, I'm going to be getting Skirmisher and Reaver with the other melee ones, which would be the main two because it avoids suck and all of that. And with class, yeah, maybe mainly I'm gonna say melee super grenade and class for PvP builds. PvE is mainly going to be health class, super, and grenade with slight weapons. Let's talk exotic armor stats. Okay, when we originally released Armor 3.0, we had a longer term plan to give exotic armor a way to access high tier behavior. Originally, we planned to give them a deterministic route. However, we ultimately realized that the healthier the game take most of the straightforward approach. Moving forward, all exotic armor will have tier 5 stats and will have access to all tuning mods. This applies retroactively to all Armor 3.0 exotics other than collection rolls. I'm gonna have to see about that. So if you don't want to trade your armor out for one of the new archetypes, you won't have to acquire them again. As they settle into the sandbox, we've seen Guardians, yeah, armor set bonuses. As they settle into the sandbox, we've seen leverage armor set bonus in a lot of different ways. Overall, we're happy with how they fit into their role as more flexible element build crafting across the game. However, there are a couple of things we felt like we should address. First, there are two set bonus perks that were big enough outliers that they need to balance adjustments. Ride together, die together. Smoke jumper 2-piece set part. Decrease the maximum damage resistance granted from 50 to 40. Okay. While rapid decay nature, damage resistance means that it could provide a higher bonus without it being a problem. The easy availability of orbs of power combined with stacks, while with other damage resistant sources, makes the set more valuable when mixed matched. Okay. Okay. Yeah, the about say it'd be a sweet spot. Okay, cool. Superluminal motion. Wayward Psych. 4-piece set. Increase the health granted while moving from 15 to 30 per second outside of the crucible. That's fair. Peak behavior unchanged in PvP. That's fair. That's fair. The second issue is simultaneously moving straight forward and harder to solve. Okay. That's yeah. I'm kind of skimming because like I have some stuff to do. Cause like this is an hour, and I don't know how long the twid is gonna be. Solution is simple. As we previously noted, we are refreshing a massive amount of gear across the game that includes more set bonuses that we have previously made into a single release. We don't want to fully place, okay? Yeah, to your appetite in addition to all says we announce let's Exodus down. Nessus. Emergency electromagnetic. When your shields become broken, collect any nearby orbs of power and ammo bricks. Repurpose charge. Whenever you gain or lose or spend armor charge, heal and gain damage reduction for a short time. This effect scales with the amount of armor charge gained, lost, or spent. Okay. So Exodus Down armor is basically going to be for PvE specifically. And so are these. Lucent Transmutation. Performing a finisher on a combatant or landing successive power melee final blow generates an elemental pickup based on your light subclass. Performing a finisher on powerful combatants heal you and generates loyal void malts. Before we move on, we have seen one question come up since our moment of try and reveal, and we would like to address. Will the Armor 3.0 versions of Raid Armor still have access to Raid mods? No. Ouch. Raid mods are a future exclusive to Armor 2.0 due to technical limitations. However, since we know certain raid mods can sometimes be more valuable than a set bonus in specific situations, Armor 2.0 for all available raids will be focusable at Hawthorne for 10 spoils of conquest each. We hope that new set bonuses tied to each raid activity provide meaningful benefits and give you a fun choice of picking between the combinations of Armor 2.0 and Armor 3.0. That sucks, but is understandable. Meaning that they have something cooked up for Armor 3.0 raid armor. They have something cooked up. Mm. All right, yeah. What do we use? Yeah, so some have straightforward changes that lead into fantasy, while others are being reworked. Wormhusk. At one point, Wormhusk was a genuine scourge upon PvP, but within the modern sidebox, it has fallen by the wayside, especially in PvE. But it has always struggled. So now we are giving it a facelift with some build crafting hooks. This also comes with an update to Spirit of the Worm Husk to match these changes. Reworked effect. Solar multi kills grant burning souls, while active solar ability change. So solar ability damage is increased and dodging greatly cures the player and nearby allies. So Worm Husk is specifically going to be for solar. The aerial dodge. As soon as you get hit by the void blast, You could dodge in the air. That goes for striker too. I see you, Bungie. Shards of Galanor. We looked at all the classes' capabilities when it comes to super damage output with exotics. Since Hunter has a few options other than classes, we figured that it was worth adding another. It's no Celestial Nighthawk, but we figured embedding large solar bombs into your foes is a close second. Landing 5 to 7 knives in a volley during super causes delayed solar explosion and releases solar sharpnel. This can happen with each volley of super knives. Landing both explosions is approximately comparable to a Curious Thunder. Nice. Caliban's hand. Caliban's hand Caliban's has proved to a strong option of the prismatic class item, but has largely fallen behind on their base exotic. To help, we are leaning further into what it does best, letting you chain proximity mines with ignition. Increase the melee recharge bonus up to 25, dealing damage with Scorch, now refunds a smaller amount of melee energy. Ignition final blows fully refund knife energy and can overflow into an additional charge. Mm, Frosties. Frosties have been begging for a buff sometime, and what better way to do it than finally looping it into stasis build crafting? What? Tonight's forecast of freezes coming. Gain stacks of armor while sprinting. While you have frost armor, stasis weapon deal increased damage. Oh my god, so Frosties. I forgot the name of that exotic side on. Duh, y'all do not understand. That's going to be a combination out the ass. That's going to be a combination. That's going to be in the PvP meta. You're going to be seeing them running with Frosties on. They gain frost armor. Yeah, that's him. Shinobu's Vow. Shinobu's Vow have not seen much PvE players over the years. With an introduction to Bolt Charge, to the game and its popularity in other builds. This particular exotic seemed good candidate for opening up some new gameplay for hunters. The changes we made here are similar to those made recently to Lucky Raspberry, hooking in its existing loop to more recent gameplay items, plus a bit of extra support. Now gain skip grenade energy whenever you gain stacks of bolt charge. Nice. Skip grenade damage now grant bolt charge. Nice. When you gain full bolt charge, heal yourself and nearby allies, enable an enhanced skip grenade. Damn. Shinobu's Vow really going in and getting into the skip grenade. Enhance the skip grenade bounce 2 additional times before detonating. Release bonus skip seekers per bounce. Nice. Raiden Flux. Roaming supers have long felt a bit rough to use in champion heavy content. Yep, they are. These changes to Raiden Flux allows you to use a potent anti-overload option and reward opting into the combo finisher. Arc staff hits now jolt targets with Raiden Flux. Combo finisher Palm Blast now gets 1.5 the base exotic damage bonus and as reports as critical damage. Oh, okay. Mouth keep Moth Keeper Wraps. I hope Lucky Pan's going to get a nerf. I hope it get a nerf. In order to encourage more diverse build crafter with Moth Keepers, we opt to turn it into a conditional grenade override, similar to Gunpowder Gamble. This allows the use of your base grenade in addition to moth grenades, without lowering the downtime of moth grenades compared to current high uptime builds. Okay. Mothkeeper wraps now provide moth grenades as a conditional override instead of a complete override. Getting kills from any source increments a counter. Okay, amount damage. Okay, depends on the enemy rank. Oh, okay. Once the counter reaches 6, you gain 2 moth grenade charges until they are used. All current functionality and synergies with moth grenades remains the same. For example, arc moth still blind. Having your grenade staff over 100 still increases their damage. They still synergize with subclass fragments. Oh, okay. Increase the movement speed of arc moths roughly 43 and void moths by 25. So the arc, oh, arc speed. Got it. Both moths from the same grenade will not attempt to target separate enemies slash allies if possible. Lucky Pants. Oh, Lucky Pants. You've always been pretty good, but with so many powerful hand cannons, it become hard to justify the incredible magnitude of the damage bonus per boss versus bosses. We're making some targeted adjustment to hand cannons that we had considered outliers, as well as punishing Lucky Pants into more non-boss in combat role to live on substantially in perpetuity. This is a fancy way of saying we don't want to live in Lucky Pants meta forever. Thank God. Thank God. Frosties is up. Lucky Pants down. Increase Ariana Vow's maximum damage bonus to 4 point. God. Decrease Uncivil Disclosure's maximum damage bonus. Uncivil Disclosure. Is that the new hand cannon? Was that the new hand cannon that I saw? That might be. Reduce Lucky Pan's bonus damage to versus bosses by 33%. So, hope you notice, you're going to be going here and seeing Lucky Pants Ariana's Vow combo a lot. Titan. Hellfire Heart. Yup, Hellfire has been a very simple exotic for a long time, right? Cut. However, its effects are largely vestigial of Destiny 2's first year. To bring it to the modern sandbox, and now leans deeper into I am a mobile sunspot, offering the effects of Soul Invictus Sunspot and then some while roaming and defeating enemies with your abilities. Reworked effects. While your solar super is charged, ability final blows cure you and give you stacks of Sunfire Furnace. While Sunfire Furnace is active, grenade and shield burst final blows trigger an ignition. Each stack increases grenade regeneration, class ability regeneration, and super damage. Okay. Upon exiting your super, all stacks are converted into super energy. Decrease ability regen bonus from 3.5 to 2.5. That's fair. Pyro Gale Gauntlets. As a part of re-examining super damage exotics, we want to bring up Pyro Gale Gauntlets. However, it is already quite a competitive option with Roaring Flames, right? Because of this, we have instead improved its ability to find its mark as well as damage ever so slightly to reduce the necessity for Roaring Flame 3. Slightly increase Super Cyclone Scorch per tick. Increase Super Cyclone Explosion damage by 10%. Increase super cyclone tracking by approximately 40%. Here I come. Here I come. It should be remarkably easier to get the projectiles to track a target at range. Stoicism. Spirit of the Star Eater. In comparing super damage, we believe that it's safe in a modern super damage climate to increase Spirit of Star Eater's benefit for Twilight Arsenal back to its former values. So they for Twilight Arsenal from 25 to 50. Mm. Severance Enclosure. We figured it was high time to give back Severance Enclosure some of its potency while also helping it bind to the few kinetic alignment keywords we use. Improve occlusion on the detonation, make it easier to hit. Remove effect that prevent combatants from being hit by multiple shockwaves in a short period of time. Enemies hit by the shockwaves are disoriented. Okay. Praxic investments. Praxic investments. My bad. Praxic investments have a cool fantasy, but it's turning at Renegade's launch prevented it from being the exciting new option that we wanted to be. In this release, we give it significant tune up by improving its value, uptime, and usability. Increase the attack damage by 500%. Big slam. Increase jetpack fuel gain from per weapon kill in PvE from 10 to 20. Increase jetpack fuel gain from per power melee kill. So this is mainly going to be in PvE. Mainly. Update the exotic perk to recognize knockout kills as powered melee kills. Okay. Improve the jetpack flight experience. Okay, they got no backup plans. Okay, decrease the wind up from 8 to point 0.5. Oh, they decrease the wind up time for maximum flight. Remove the behavior that caused jetpack flight to end early while contact. So basically, the Praxic vestments are your Garys. Because if you could use this with Striker, because now Striker can be used, because Striker's dodge ability, thrust, can be used in the air. So Praxic vestments plus that thrust, you got your Garys. Ta-da! But he's not Gary's. Play D1. Updated camera. Updated camera to better convey your speed. Wait, fix a bug that caused the jetpack kick to target dead enemies, ending flight early. Okay. Mmm. Oh, baby. No backup plans. Long have players asked to have no backup plans to work on non-void to go with the exotic visuals shifting to match. We are happy to say that it now does. So if you see anybody in PvP wearing no backup plans, they have a shotgun. I promise you, they have a shotgun. It operates a bit differently than it used to, but it still leans into aggressive close range play built around your defensive buffs. Additionally, we opened up the triggers to melees as well as shotguns to allow cleanup punches to also keep the engine going. Now triggers and benefits off both shotgun and melee final blows. That 1-2 punch now absolutely has value. Shotgun and melee final blows now start health regeneration instead of granting a void overshield. That's fine. Shotgun, shotgun and melee final blows extend the timer on any active defensive buff on you. This includes Void Overshield, Restoration, Amplify, Frost Armor, and Woven Mail. Jesus Christ. Will partially heal Void Overshield upon activation of this extension if the player has one. Oh my god. That was the same voice. But we're gonna I'm not even gonna worry about that. I'm gonna try to go ahead and cut that out. The shotgun damage bonus now is now active when you have any of the above noted defensive buffs. Cadamus Ridge Lance Cap. Yeah, about as I was reading, my bad. I probably might go ahead and cut that out. But then Cadamus Ridge Lance Cap. Lance Cap has struggled to find a niche since its release. True. Okay, made some adjustments. Now also can spawn stasis lances with rapid stasis weapon damage. Okay. And final blues even when they're not behind the rally barricade. Now grant bonus stasis lance. Jesus Christ. Based on your current stacks of frost armor. Oh, okay. Point contact cannon brace. mm. Okay, point contact has routinely been at its best when you are just tap firing thunderclap instead of charging it, which neglects the awesome fantasy of this ability. So we are making a couple of changes targeted and marking the user experience of charging thunderclap with point contact better, which of course means more lightning. Activating thunderclap also releases lightning strikes as you start the wind up punch. Mmm. Lightning strike damage now scales further based on how long the thunderclap charged for up to 2 times. Ooh, this stag this stag with the bonus damage from casting while amplified. We rework melee regen from lightning strikes to kills to lightning strike kills. Compensates for the new wave of bolts on 14. The current output of Helm Sin 14 Disorient PvE is completely overshadowed by Weapons of Light, alongside with the rework of Dawn, Water Dawn. We also found that the Disorient pose concerns in PvP. We took the opportunity to give this exotic a complete facelift, integrates with the ward changes, provide a more appropriate replacement for the Disorient and bolsters. Bolsters the fantasy of being Saint 14, inspired by its infinite bubbles from the old story missions. Unchanged, Weapon of Light continues to persist for the wearer and allies upon leaving your Ward of Dawn. Okay. Adding a new VFX of Ward of Dawn to indicate if it will provide weapons of light upon leaving. Okay. Remove. No longer disorient enemies within your Ward of Dawn upon blocking with Shield Sentinel. Okay. New functionality. While weapons of light are activated, kills the sustained damage from any source grants stacks of the same. Under the same circumstances, void and kinetic damage sources will also suppress in a radius around the victim. Okay. Picking up your water dawn consumes all accursed stacks of the same and extends to your war's duration based on how many stacks were consumed. Okay. Helm of Saint 14 synergy with a specific exotic weapon has also been adjusted. Are we talking Bastion? Feedback fans have been recurring point of feedback in the Crucible, even when not charged up. This should help. No longer provide any melee damage resist versus. Oh, baby. Mm, I see at the bottom, but oh, baby. That's gonna suck. Blast Wave Striders. With many changes coming to the base Stasis kit, we look back at how our dedicated Stasis exotics were performing and saw help to improve the performance, consistency, and potentially Blast Wave Striders all in one swoop. It should help shift from a highly sustained yield to on demand Stasis explosions from for aggressive behemoth playstyles. Adjust the projectile mirror that of the Renegade Behemoth Walker stats detonation. Decrease D defeats to charge meter. Increase tracking state strength of stasis chop no on detonation. Should more effectively track frozen targets. Oh, okay. Replace sliding with on shiver strike hits as an activator. Fix the issue with multiple kills on the same frame when increment the perk buildup. Now to my part. Warlock Exotics. Nezarec Sin. It was either going to be Nezarec Sin or the skull the skull of Ankara. Of Dire Ankara, or something like that. I can't go ahead and think of the name right now. That they went here and said two Nova bombs. So it's gonna be the skull. For a lot of players, Nezarec Sin has been a solid workhorse exotic when all else fails to suffice. We didn't want to modify this use case, but we did see an opportunity to tie it into the new Void Walker aspect. Tie the way to the final god of pain. It's your turn to devour your enemies. Fear. Who knows? Maybe he's still listening. New effect. Targets targets damaged by Soul Siphon are suppressed. Nice. Defeating suppressed targets or with Soul Siphon grants an additional 1.5 seconds to Abyssal Extractors. Okay. Matio Matiodoxia. In our super damage exotic audit, we found a couple of issues of how Matidoxia was dealing bonus damage. Really, Matai. I'm gonna just say Matai or Doxia because I'm not saying that whole entire thing. Forget that. Increase the suspending burst from super super combined by about 22. This makes it equals to Curious Thunder Crash. Hmm. Says Nezarite going ahead and goes into the void suck. I said it. Skull Dire Amkara. This Amkara Bone Helm is a classic exotic, but that's no reason to less ossify. Returning energy on Super Final Blows is so 2017. Last year, Void Walker got a second melee charge and a second grenade charge with Chaos Accelerant. Right. Why not a second cast of Nova Bomb? Better yet, how about we bring back Nova Bomb Lance? Nova, bring back Nova Bomb Lance. What? I never had the Lance. Why stop there? Maybe you could detonate your Cataclysm Nova Bomb with Nova Bomb Lance for massive boss damage if you time it right. But you're special, and you could time it right every time. Can't you, O player of mine? New effect. After casting a Nova Bomb, you get a short period which you can cast Nova Bomb lands. Destroying a Cataclysm Nova Bomb with Nova Land creates a Nova Vortex alongside the Cataclysm Nova Bomb Seekers. Unchanged. Super energy on Nova Bomb Final Blows and Weapon Final Blows, while you have super energy on Nova Bomb Final Blows and Weapon Final Blows, while you have Devour. The additional damage resistance while casting Nova Bomb has been removed from the perk text, but remains as hidden functionality to help players to help the new play pattern sing. Crown of Tempest is an exotic that is decently powerful, but rather demanding to maintain and unexciting to use compared to other options in today's sandbox. Plus, Crown of Tempest on Stormcaller Warlock to serve a bit more thunder, don't you think? Yeah. Increase the duration of conduction times in PvE for 7 to 10 seconds. Good. While you have at least one stack of conduction times, I Ionic Sentry creates a storm grenade when it's deployed. Nice. Battle Harmony has been left in a bit of the dust over the years, which is true. The changes here allow a function even when fighting bosses, as well as give a nice bonus for actually choosing your super instead of holding on to it for damage bonus. Thank God. Now it can trigger its super energy gain or weapon damage bonuses on sustained weapon damage in addition to final blows. After casting your super, now gain surges for all elements and weapons, matching your super damage type, causing detonations when hitting targets for a modern duration. Thank you, God. Astral Sight, Astral Sight Verse. Because of the natural limitations of blink and the small area of effect of the volatile burst that this exotic grants, it has struggled to see much use. To address these issues, we added a new air move ability, which should help add some flexibility to link both in and out of combat. They forgot to add a B right here and expand his ability to apply volatile. New effects. While both this helmet and blink are equipped, you can now use your air move to input perform a dark blink horizontally in any direction. This ability has a longer cooldown than Crucible. Blinking or dark blinking now grants volatile rounds in addition to the volatile explosion. So, to my Nova Bomb enjoyers, enjoy Cataclysm. For me, I could use both. Dawn Course. Dawn Course variation believes didn't quite come together into a strong build, which limited its viability. To address this, we expanded Scorch benefits. Okay, that also affect ignition. So also synergize well with Incinerator Snap to further improve interaction with Daybreak. So you know that Roy Mustang build that Acrocross went here and talked about that somebody had did. I don't know if he, yeah. I'm about to say I'm gonna have to remember that if he did it or somebody else did. The Roy Mustang now causes your Scorch to build an even more intense ignition. Now grants melee energy for dealing ignition damage, addition to Scorch damage. Remove the internal cooldown on energy gains from scorch damage and return gains to return slightly more energy overall. Now causes Dark Blade projectiles to always immediately trigger ignition. Nothing manacles. Scatter grenades and nothing manacles got a bit too much love in Renegades, so we're toning them back a bit. Extra Seekers can no longer chain off themselves, just the initial grenade. Reduce Extra Seeker generation from 4 to 3. Reduce range and lifetime Extra Seekers. That's fine. It was fun while it lasted. Controversial. While it was nice seeing Hill Supernova back in the spotlight again, the value for effort in using it with controversy was a bit too free. Reduced energy returns when used with magnetic grenade, handheld supernova by 15%. This is in addition to fixing the health chunking bug. It was fun while it lasted. I knew it was going to happen. I knew that this was going to happen. It's been fun. Demio Fusion. Demio Fusion has been a recurring point of feedback in Crucible, allowing far too easy kills while being completely safe. This should help reducing that. Increase the time of being increase the time between damage ticks against players from zero point 0.1 to zero point 0.3 seconds. That's fine. That's all from us for now. Thank you for your continued support and feedback over the years. We hope you enjoy playing this new sandbox as much as we have internally, and we are excited to get all of this into your hands on June 9th. There's going to be a lot of fun stuff. A lot of fun stuff. And like I said, with the Titans, they're really going to become Killer Queen. I would not I would not be surprised if I see anybody name themselves Kira Koshiga. Uh, Koshigage. I think that's his name. I am not gonna be I am not gonna be surprised. Especially if a Titan, the the magical girl outfit, helmet, they're gonna be white and purple. I know which white and purple shade. Gonna make myself Killer Queen. But yeah, that's that's about it for that. Later on, I'll be looking at the Twids. So keep yourselves calm, cool, and collective. I'll see y'all next time.